Yeah, buddy. Welcome on into the Friday episode here of the Workhorse, brought to you every single day by BetUS. Fantastic sportsbooks. Have you guys used the link yet down in that video description? Go check them out. They're just giving out free money. We're on the heaters right now. Who doesn't want to turn free money into more free money? Go ahead and check out BetUS. Again, use that link in the video description. We would both appreciate it. Let's just go ahead and go right into the first inning here on Quick Hits. Let's get the Squirrel's opening thoughts on today's slate, or yesterday, or whatever he wants to talk about. What's going on, Squirrel?
We'll talk about a little bit of both, huh? Finally, a 3-0 day.
Nice.
That Diamondbacks first five was a good cash. However, my God, was I about to just throw my computer out the window yesterday at the end of the fifth inning, dude. Oh, my God. He loads the bases. I'm just waiting to get screwed. Oh, my God. We won, but my God, was that a stressor?
Oh, that was incredibly stressful. And at one point, I was like, all right, well, I'm stressing alone because on the top of the fifth inning, Stroman had men on bases. And it's like, all right, well, Squirrel doesn't really care about that. He's obviously kind of rooting for that. But I'm like, no runs. And then the second half, I was like, all right, now the Squirrel's sweating with me. Cool. I got a little company here on the sweat. So, yeah, that was fantastic. And kind of like how the gent kind of asked us yesterday, like, how do you guys go about it? That's a classic example of we both generally saw the same thing, but we had two different bets generally on the same thing, and we both got two cashes. So that was really cool right there. How about our Carlos Hernandez? Didn't matter how you faded him yesterday. We kind of jumped off of his F5 team total. That would have cashed, but we did under 3.5 Ks. That one cashed. You Darvish under 6.5 Ks. Yankees hitting their F5 team total thanks to Giancarlo Stanton. Hit a nice bomb in the fourth inning. Red Sox with the most hits. How about that? The creative bet right there. Red Sox with the most hits. Sweaty. Boy, if all you did was look at the box score, you think you cruised to a nice, easy win. Was not the case. It was tight through about the fourth or the fifth inning. My only loss of the day was the corn trill. Tripped us up. Struck out his last batter. He was either not going to pitch the eighth inning or no way they were going to let him to pitch to Naquin right there because he had just hit a home run off of him in the fifth inning. So literally struck out his last batter to go 5. But overall, 5-1 in baseball, 6-1 overall. A fantastic day. I'm glad we both had fantastic days. And we had a fun time on yesterday's show. The only thing that was wrong that's now bad about yesterday's show is YouTube took it down. YouTube took it down. Like, what's up? We talk about the same thing every day. Yesterday, we even went above and beyond and kind of went a little insight on it, how we handicap and go about it. And YouTube was like, nah. They took that, and they won't even let me appeal. They say in the email, they're like trolling me in the email. They say you can appeal to get your video back. But the appeal button's not clickable for me. What's up?
Wow.
What's up, YouTube? Hating on me. What's going on, Hunter? What's going on, everybody else out there? Glad everybody's joining us here on this payoff pitch. Again, the comment section is open. Get on in there with Hunter. Let us know what your best bets are of the day. And yeah, Hunter, that Diamondbacks, that was a crazy cash. That was. So. All right, let's go on into the second inning. We call it around the bases. We'll each take a couple of games. We'll break them down and give you guys a bet along the way. So why don't we have the Squirrel go ahead and kick it off for us?
Sure. Immediately, a thing that caught my attention was the Marlins against the Braves. Trevor Rogers on the mound against Charlie Morton. But I do remember, for whatever reason, I think it was that trivia question that you had. I think you said who joined the Marlins as having like some great batting average. So I took a look into it, and I know, again, we always differ just a little bit, and it's so weird how a couple of days can change the stats and rankings, isn't it? Like, you look at 10 days, I look at 14 roughly. But yeah, it changes things significantly. So overall, in the last 2 weeks, you have the Marlins sitting at number 5 in batting average at 260. And then going against right-handed pitching, I do believe it was, they are number 2 in the last 14 days, but number 1 in the last 10, I think you said, for batting average. So I do like backing great offenses, especially at lower odds, or in this case, even money. I think best we found was plus 104 somewhere. But then the debate was, do you take a first 5? Do you go full game? Who has the better bullpens, etc.? I'm okay with a full game personally, as I don't feel that I'm getting such a significant advantage in the first 5 with Trevor Rogers over Charlie Morton. He's still a decent pitcher. I'm okay with the full game. I know you had kind of touched a little bit on the bullpens of the back end there, but I just like the Marlins bats there to get it done at plus money.
Yeah, we did talk about that game a little bit before going on the air. Marlins have only gotten better, as you said. It's crazy. You whack off 4 days, and you gave off a 280 some batting average or something. They're 309 in the last 10 days, so it helps your cause out. They've only gotten better, so love that right there. I'm going to talk about that game a little bit later on. It's a steal. I'll elaborate on it, but I am right there with you. I think the Marlins is an absolutely fantastic play today.
Cool.
I want to kick it off with talking about the Tigers and the Guardians. I like the Tigers team total over 4 runs at minus 128. Over 4 runs, so we can go ahead and push if they end up with 4 runs. The Tigers, boy, slight offensive advantage. Both of these teams are sitting bottom 10, though. But the Tigers do have the better offense. I like that. But why am I willing to back a bottom 10 offense today? Aaron Savali is on the mound here for the Cleveland Guardians. God awful numbers. At every start, he's given up at least 4 runs. He's pitched 24 innings. He's given up 30 runs, 6 home runs, 8 walks. I mean, I could show you guys the game log. It is atrocious, this guy, Aaron Savali. So that's why I'm willing to back this Tigers offense. They've got good batters. They've got guys that we know that can perform really well. He's let every opponent in his starts get 5 or more runs. I mean, this guy, he's not pitching good, and because he doesn't pitch good, you don't get the Guardians' good bullpen arms. There's absolutely everything to love about this. I also, just to kind of let you guys know, I lean Tigers money line as well. I also lean Tigers F5 team total, which is over 2. I lean Tigers F5 money line. Really don't think you can go wrong back in the Tigers
Parlay
today
it
in
all.
some
No,
capacity. Parlay it all. Same game parlay, right?
Yeah. Hey, I lean the Tigers money line as well. That was another game that I was going to talk about as well. But for the money line in that case, obviously, as you've touched on, Aaron Savali, terrible. All he does is gets hit. And, I really am a fan of Scooble, and I'm missing Casey Mize. We talked about him yesterday because he's in the thumbnail of our Thursday episode there. We wondered where he went, and if you're wondering as well, I think he pulled something in his pitching elbow. I think was the deal with him, something, some tendon or muscle or something. Didn't sound fun or good at all, but he is rehabbing right now. But yeah, Tarek Skubal definitely can get it done and is a significant advantage over Savali by far. So again, minus 110 down by even odds roughly. I think they should be worth a little bit more if I were pricing the game.
Nice. Glad to hear we both like the Tigers today. What about the Twins and Royals game? What about the Twins F5 team total over 2.5 runs at plus 120? Kind of stayed away from full game backing the Twins just because the Royals have the better pin. What I'm really focusing on here is the Twins offense advantages here versus left-handed pitching, and then they're going up against Daniel Lynch. First, let's talk about this left-handed hitting machine here for the Twins. Boy, they are the top 5 offense in all the offensive categories versus left-handed pitching. They've got the 3rd best K percentage at 11.3%, so they're not striking out. They're making solid contact. They're 2nd in on-base percentage, 2nd in average, 6th in OPS versus left-handers. Again, I just mentioned their low K percentage. Everything to absolutely love about this. Daniel Lynch, they're going up against him. Not the greatest of all numbers. He's coming off a nice start against the Rockies in Colorado, which is a little bit surprising. But before that, the Orioles and the Yankees were all able to get at him. But I can't ignore how well this Twins team is really performing right now against left-handed pitching. So give me that Twins F5 team total over 2.5 runs. I will touch on, I think the over is a decent play, and I also think Daniel Lynch under 5.5 Ks. It's super juicy. There's a reason it's juicy because it's a good play. Perhaps that could be a good parlay piece as well. All right.
For sure.
Let's go ahead and shut up now and give these guys some pitching props. Was there a guy on the mound that you want to go ahead and target today?
Savali.
How are you going to fade him, man? How are you going to fade him? Hits allowed?
Maybe honestly hits allowed. I really just kind of tend to gravitate towards those strikeout deals, but I don't think he gets a lot of them. There's line's 4.5, so over unders 115. So I went under 4.5. But now that you say it, I really think you don't have the hits allowed quite yet, or earned runs allowed, or whatever. I see to record a win or to get strikeouts, and don't take him to record a win. I promise you, it's not going to happen.
No,
I'll go under 4.5 strikeouts.
this is the classic guy when we talked about Carlos Hernandez yesterday, right? You just want to find a way to fade him. We faded that bum all season.
Oh, and that game did go way over early, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it finished 7-4. So you got over 10.5 runs. I think it finished 7-4. So you just got there. But, yeah, Savali's like Hernandez. Just get on a way to fade him, and whatever. If he burns you, he'll probably cash you the next 5 times after that. So I may just mention Daniel Lynch. I thought he was a good parlay piece. Here's the starter there for the Kansas City Royals. Look at his under 5.5 Ks, folks, at minus 160. Cash in his last 3. Cash versus the Twins on April 20th when he only had 2 Ks. Cash versus the Twins in 2021 when he only had 4 Ks. Cash in his last 8 starts in 2021. And again, I mentioned the Twins have the 3rd best K percentage versus left-handed pitching. They're only striking out 11.3% of their outs versus left-hander. So I think Daniel Lynch is a nice parlay piece. I think Trevor Rogers, you like the Marlins today. There's a reason. I like Trevor Rogers over 5.5 Ks at minus 118. Look, the Braves versus left-handers have the highest K percentage by 12%. That is by far the league worst, and it's a big discrepancy of how much they strike out versus left-handers. I think taking over 5.5 Ks with Trevor Rogers is a nice play. I also like Nestor Cortez under 1.5 walks at minus 105. Both of these teams versus left-handers are absolutely struggling. They're both sitting bottom 10, which is surprising for me because we think the perception is White Sox carried over from last season have been good versus left-handers. We generally think the Yankees have been good versus left-handers. All that may be true, but not in this current setting. They're both sitting bottom 10. And again, Cortez is a guy that's going to be in the Cy Young conversation. I mean, hopefully most of the season. He's certainly in it right now. He's got the best ERA in baseball. Let me give you guys one more. Eric Lauer there, the Milwaukee Brewers, over 1.5 walks. What I like about him is the Nationals have the 6th best walking percentage in baseball. So I think maybe they can get at least 2+ walks off Lauer. So those are a couple pitching props. Did you have another one?
Yeah, one more that I'm not known for giving plays with a lot of juice, but this one almost seems a little bit disrespectful to Paul Blackburn of the Athletics. Over 3.5 strikeouts, it's up to minus 170. And listen, I know it's a lot of juice, but the guy hasn't thrown a single game this year under 3 strikeouts. So you're at least most likely going to get 3. You need over 3.5, and quite a few times he's done 7, he's done 4 or 5. I don't think it's too bad if you're looking for just a simple cash. I mean, it is some juice, but it seems almost a little bit disrespectful or too low to Paul Blackburn. I think he's a great pitcher. We know the A's struggle on offense and such, but that doesn't really articulate very well, I don't think, to Paul Blackburn particularly. So, much like the Diamondbacks and whatnot are, people maybe don't know about Gallen like we talked about yesterday because they just see the whole team as being crappy.
Yeah, wow. So something that's hit 100% of the time. I absolutely love that right there. Maybe a little juicy, so maybe it's a parlay piece. I like that one. That's a great suggestion there, Squirrel. All right, let's go ahead and move now to the 4th inning. We call it long shots. We think there's some underdogs today on the board that can go ahead and get a win. I'll run through mine. I've got 4. Maybe I won't elaborate them all because there are 4, but I do like to piggyback and mention your Marlins one again. I'd really like the Marlins today over the Braves. I think the Orioles over the Rays could be a good one. The only thing that makes me nervous is the Rays starters only going to go about 2 innings. So if you get into a bullpen game, the Rays just have that advantage with then throwing guys for an inning or 2. But I do like the Orioles. They have enough advantages to get the upset. I like the Reds today against the Blue Jays. They're talking about a top 10 offense currently versus a bottom 10 offense. The Reds also have the bullpen advantages currently. So I like the Reds as a money line. And then the last one I want to sneak in is I think the Mariners, even though they have a worse bullpen, if you get a good start from Robbie Ray against a Red Sox team that is competing with the Braves team as being the worst team currently versus left-handed pitching, I think the Mariners have a great chance of pulling off the upset. What dogs do you like today, Squirrel?
Yeah, you kind of covered all the ones that are even worthy of.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. And to back up an underdog, I was just taking a look at what sometimes I'll talk about being the money distribution or the amount of tickets versus the amount of money, and it really isn't. There really isn't any that's outstanding on any underdogs in particular today, which kind of sucks. I will go back to the Mariners, however, and pick them out. So I know you say that I'm kind of dogging on Michael Wacha too much for what he's done so far this year, just because of what's burned in my memory of of him in previous outings last season, especially. But Robbie Ray is not a pushover by any means either. I think at plus 100, you stand a pretty decent chance of cashing an underdog in that one. I like Castillo, also of the Reds, like you had talked about. And the last one was what that you had talked about?
The Orioles, Reds, Marlins.
Gotcha. Orioles was the last one. Yeah, and I don't know who Jalen Beeks is, but I think as you had said before the show, it's going to be one of those classic Rays one-inning type of guys, and we don't know what the hell we're getting after that, unless it is listed as a primary pitcher here. Ryan Yarbrough will be the next guy.
Oh, Yarbrough will? Oh, I don't like the Orioles then. I like Yarbrough.
Yep, I don't either.
No, I don't either.
That's going to be the primary
underdog.
pitcher. Yep, scratch that. So I would go ahead and say my underdog play for the fourth inning will be the Seattle Mariners. At even money.
All right, we did some pitching props. Now in the fifth inning, we'll give you guys some hitting props. I'll go ahead and kick it off here. I like to give you guys two guys that can parlay together for over 0.5 hits. Today's parlay comes in at plus 114. Eduardo Escobar, there of the New York Mets, 12 for 23 off Marquez, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. And then Yuri Gurriel, there of the Houston Astros, is 8 for 19 off Perez. All singles, but also no strikeout. So every time he's at the plate against this guy, he's at least hitting the ball in some fashion. So I like those two guys at plus 114 for both of them to at least get one hit. And we just got some bad news there in the chat from Degent that it's raining and snowing. So maybe don't use that Escobar there of the Mets. Maybe that doesn't happen. So you don't want a single ticket at like minus 200 for Gurriel. That's not very smart betting. But I didn't know that was going to happen until a couple minutes ago. But appreciate that knowledge. Yeah. What guys you want to target there with the bat in their hand?
I'm going to just be straight up honest with you. I didn't really fully get around to batting props today. I guess just on a very quick general look for somebody who has seen Robbie Ray a lot of the Red Sox is Enrique Hernandez. 52 at bats, has hit him 12 out of 52. So you're getting plus 150 for him to not get a hit. I don't see him on a total basis, though. But I do see him on just generally getting under one hit. Other than that, though, yeah, I didn't really make it around to these as much, but I do have things for the rest of the inning. So,
all right. Well, sixth inning, let's give those people a steal then. What do you got?
So I think you touched a little bit on it, and that's going to be that I'm going back to a total in that Twins and Royals game. And I don't really know, even as a Twins fan, I don't know much about this Smeltzer guy. So I don't know if he's newer. I would assume he is. And Daniel Lynch is really a big reason that I was interested in this one to begin with. Pretty terrible stuff as far as last year, especially. Don't think it's gone great for him this year either. But I was looking at the number of 8.5 being, I don't know. I think it's doable to get 9 runs in this game with the offenses. And I think, is this a lefty versus lefty matchup? And as I think you already had said, those offenses are both top 5 against left-handed. Was that right?
Twins are top 5, Royals are top 12. So good in my mind.
But still towards the upper half of the board there. So yeah, Minnesota against left-handers is a 307 batting average in the last 2 weeks. I'll take it. Right. I'll take my over 8.5 there, and I think that's even plus 100.
Okay.
So no juice to pay there, and I think left-handed pitchings and for those offense, I think that's I would call it a steal.
Good stuff right there. I've got a steal that also comes in at even money. I want to go back to that Braves-Marlins matchup that you talked about in the second inning. I like the Marlins at plus money. I also like the Marlins F5 money line at plus money. If I had to pick between the two, I would just do the F5 money line because the Braves do have the better bullpen by a pretty good bit over these Marlins. So I lean F5, but I kind of like them both. I think if you get the start from Rogers, maybe you don't have to worry about the Braves' good arms. But of the two, I like the F5 a little bit better. Again, that Braves bullpen's better. These two teams versus right-handed pitching, they'll have the exact same number of plate appearances, 253, but the Marlins are better by a good bit. I mean, Marlins by a good bit. Not only do the Braves struggle in terms of strikeouts versus left-handed pitching, They also struggle versus right-handed pitch in terms of strikeouts. 27.3% of their outs come via the strikeout. So we know there's left-hander on the mound, but I'm just speaking towards when we get to the bullpen there for the Marlins. You get some right-handers. I think the Braves are going to continue struggling. You kind of talked about how Rogers can be successful against these Braves. Completely agree. You talked about that Marlins offense. I completely agree with what they're doing against right-handed pitching with Charlie Morton on the mound. Give me that Marlins F5 money line at plus money as a steal. It's at plus money. I don't think you should be getting that with the advantages they have, at least in the first 5 innings. So like that play right there. All right, coming to a stretch time. We got to give these people our best bet on the board. What was your best bet today, Squirrel?
Let's see your shirt.
Giants.
Oh, there it is. The line's moving the right way. Jacob Junis was not too bad in his last start when I thought it was going to be Carlos Rodon. I still took the Giants and I still lost, but it was not, in my opinion, solely because of the starting pitcher. Junis, still a decent ERA. I thought he looked fine. He'll go against Sean Manaea here today, and as I said, the line's moving the right way. Last night I saw it, I think, minus 110 or minus 115. It's now minus 120 or minus 125. And to back that up, you're getting sharp action, so meaning the steam is coming in on that side of the game. You're getting about 70% of the tickets and 80% of the money. Something that I like for lower odds, especially, once again, when you're getting a team like the Giants or the Astros at home, it's just not a bad play to me. So that's something I would be on.
Okay, Mike, go ahead. My best bet, and again, we just found out that it could be raining and snowing tonight in Denver, so maybe this game doesn't happen. But Mets and the Rockies, F5 over 5.5 runs is my best bet. I'm definitely going to go ahead and stick to it. Weather can always change. Won't be the first meteorologist to get the weather report wrong. Mets bullpen better by far, so that's why I kind of isolated a full game over and say, you know what do we like here in this game? Well, we like both offenses. Both offenses versus right-handed pitching are in the top half of the league. In fact, if you want to start looking up some of the stats, they'll kind of interchange as to which team want to jump up into the top 10, whether it's like on base percentage, slugging, average. They're both in the top half, but then they make appearances, both of them do, in the top 10. So like these offenses. And then for the starting pitchers, you got Carrasco versus Marquez. Here, I showed you guys the game log there for, Savali? There's the one there for Marquez. Same thing. I mean, he gave up 3 runs, 4 runs, 7 runs, 7 runs, 4 runs, 4 runs. Season opener against the Dodgers was good, 1 run. All the guy does is get absolutely tagged. You can say it's because he pitches in Colorado. Great. This game's obviously in Colorado. Like that right there. Carrasco's numbers aren't that much better. His last outing, he gave up 4 runs, 2 runs. Then he had a good one. Then he gave up 8 runs, 2 runs. This guy can certainly get hit. So I'm going to rely on 2 good offenses, 2 pitchers that I think they can both give up around 3 runs. So that should get us up over 5.5 runs in the first 5 innings. So I'll go ahead and bet that accordingly.
Cool.
All right. 8th inning double play. We try and give out a parlay a day. What parlay did you like today?
How about a Yankees-Brewers money line parlay for today? You got the Yankees going against Vince Velasquez, I do believe. No, Dallas Keuchel. I don't know why I thought that. Dallas Keuchel and Nestor Cortez. I mean, it's just a huge discrepancy there in terms of numbers for the pitching, but also probably numbers for the offenses. You got the Yankees at home. Big bats, Stanton and Rizzo, Judge, LeMahieu, Donaldson. I mean, you can just go right on down the line. We know the offensive numbers for the Yankees, and they've been good. The Brewers, especially, they're even in the chat. I think you just said you like to fade Fetty. I do as well. Eric Lauer should have really no problem carving him up, I don't think. And again, you take a couple home teams, put together some real heavy underdog odds, and you turn it into a plus 116. And it's not a huge parlay, it's not huge plus odds, but if we're looking at trying to get a win, I think that's a pretty decent one for a 2-teamer.
Nice. I was waiting to give this stat out, and today's the perfect day. And the New York Yankees in series opener games are 9-2. Obviously, today's a series opener game against those White Sox. So love that parlay there for you there, Squirrel. My parlay of the day is going to be the Mariners F5 run line. And I'm going to parlay that with the Cardinals F5 running line. And you can get that at plus 272. There's a little bit of a caveat with that. Some sports books have the Mariners as a pick'em, and some sports have the Mariners getting 0.5 runs, meaning if it's a tie, they'll go ahead and cover because they're getting half a run. If you do the one that I'm suggesting, where they're having to just do the pick'em, you get it at plus 272. The other one's around plus 220 if you want to give yourself a little bit of a safety net. But I think the Mariners will be winning. Talked about how the Red Sox are struggling versus left-handed pitching. Got a big, tall lefty there in Robbie Ray, and like that offense against Michael Wacha to get at least a couple, to maybe they'll be leading after 5. And then the Cardinals, the reason I focus on the F5 in that game is the Pirates have a good little bullpen when you compare them to these Cardinals in the current setting. So offensive advantage, though, is huge for these Cardinals. They got Zach Thompson on the mound for the Pirates. Expect for the Cardinals to scrape across several runs. You got the crafty Adam Wainwright there on the bump there for the Cardinals. Just an outstanding guy. Will probably give up 2 runs max, and I think the Cardinals get more than 2 runs. So that was an easy parlay for me. It's Mariners F5 run line, Cardinals F5 run line, and it's at plus 272. All right, let's go ahead. What's that? Sorry.
I like it.
Like it a lot. Let's go ahead. I love Dumb and Dumber. It's one of my favorite movies. Let's go ahead and move now to the closer. 9th inning, fellas. Let's give our guys your official bets, and then, of course, stay tuned. We'll go ahead and run through all these games from money line, run line, and over-under perspective. I'm going to go ahead and run with my best bet of the day, Mets and Rockies over 5.5 runs in that first 5 innings at minus 104. Tigers team total over 4 runs at minus 128. Twins F5 team total over 2.5 runs at plus 120. And I did not talk about this one because you can't get under 6.5 Ks anymore. The line you can get now is under 5.5 Ks. But just like under 6.5 Ks is cashed in every start, so is under 5.5 Ks is cashed in every single start. But it's way too juicy now. I think it's a good parlay piece. But as I tweeted out this morning, under 6.5 Ks. So that's what the official bet is, under 6.5 Ks. What about for you today, Squirrel?
I think mostly everything I have is about buying offenses. It's going to be the Miami Marlins for me with that number 1 or number 2 batting average, especially against right-handed pitchers. It's really pretty much what that bet is predicated upon is the offense there of the Marlins and the fact that they're at home. The Tigers is all about fading Aaron Savali, however you can find to do that. Whether it's, pitching props against him somehow, or just taking Detroit in any fashion, whether that's first 5, if, you don't want to do full game, whatever. I think Detroit is an excellent one. And if you're looking for money distribution confirmation as well, it's about 60-60 for the amount of tickets and the amount of money. So that is backing the Tigers on the money line as well for just some more supporting information for you. And lastly is going to be the over 8.5 at even odds in the Minnesota and Kansas City game. It's all about fading not only Daniel Lynch, but also backing the top 5 or 10 offenses there against left-handers, especially in the Minnesota Twins, who are just over 300 in the last 2 weeks in that category.
Love that right there. You said you went 3-0 yesterday. That looks like another 3-0 sweet.
Yeah.
That looks like another 3-0 win right there, Squirrel. Love that right there. All right, let's go ahead and pull up BetUS right now. Let's get the live lines, whatever we've got right now. And again, we'll talk about all these games from a run line, money line, and over-under perspective. So let me pull it up right here. Getting it here, just a second.
Oh, good.
All right, here we go. This game here, I was actually going to go to this game. It starts at 1:20 here, local time in Chicago. I may try and get over it. All right, it's Diamondbacks Cubs. It's over-under of 11. Diamondbacks at plus 125. Cubs at minus 145. I'll tell you guys that follow me on Twitter, you guys know I like to do arbitrage bets and then spend that money on free rolls. I've got under 11 in a free roll. I did not understand this over-under of 11 with these offensive struggles. It cashed easy. Yesterday there was only 4 runs. Okay, I know Gallen was on the mound, but to say that these other starters can make up 7 more runs, I don't see it. To me, it was an easy 11 runs, and you'll see that again a little bit later on one of my free rolls. What about for you, Squirrel?
Yeah, generally, when you see that, I haven't looked at the weather, but I would assume that's something to do with it, and it's 20 miles an hour out.
These offenses are terrible. 20 miles an hour
No, I know. I'm just saying, this is the reason for the line, though. It's just the reason for the line. That's all I'm trying to say, okay?
No, I got you.
20 miles an hour of wind blowing straight out, so if that makes a difference to you, then that's the reason for the line. Generally, I think at Wrigley, what you want to worry about is the wind blowing in, if I remember correctly, keeps the score down. I think it's a lower scoring Stadium. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't worry too much about the wind blowing out there, but it is 20 miles an hour, so that would be the reason. Um, I don't know. I guess I would probably just back the Cubs in general. I don't think I want to play around with a total, but if I had to, yeah, it feels like a lot to go over 11. So if you're on the under, I guess I'd do an under or just back the Cubs.
Back the Cubs at -125. All right, we've got Cardinals and Pirates are up next. We've got the Cardinals at -145, Pirates at +125. We have an over/under of 9. Even though the Pirates have the better bullpen, I think if you get the first 5 to kind of go my way, like I did that double parlay, then the Cardinals at -145 are fine.
Yep. Yeah, I wanted to check the first 5. I think backing the Cardinals is the right thing to do. But the first 5, I see -150 and the money line's -145. So I think either way you do it, I think the Cards win, no problem.
Don't tell me that Ricky could be a home run day in Wrigley. I'm on the under. Don't tell me that, Ricky. I don't like that. No, he's ready, man. If the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, well, there you have it. Balls will be flying out. Braves and Marlins are up next with an over-under of 7. You got the Braves at -120. You got the Marlins at even money. We've talked about this game. The only thing I'll add to this game is this is a good NRFI spot for today. Just how the Braves struggle versus left-handers. You get Charlie Morton going up against a weak Marlins team instead of scoring runs in the first inning. So if you like NRFIs, I like the Braves and Marlins as a good NRFI spot today. What do you see in this game? I know you've kind of touched on it. Anything to really add or just move along?
Nope. Marlins money line for me, and that's about that.
Marlins. Okay. Yankees and White Sox are up next. This is a popular game on social media, even a little bit of a popular game here in our chat. Both of these teams have a reputation for smashing left-handed pitching. You got Keuchel and Cortez on the mound here. You have an over-under of 8.5. You got the White Sox at +185. The Yankees at -225. I'm taking the Yankees run line because the bullpen discrepancies is huge. You're talking top 5 versus bottom feeder, and I mean bottom feeder when you're talking this White Sox team. So it's Yankees run line for me.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're going to money line it, just parlay piece it like I did with the Brewers or with whatever. Could be Giants or something along those lines.
Something, yeah, right. All right, Rays versus Orioles are up next. You got an over-under of 9. You got the Rays at -135. You got the Orioles at +115. I'm taking the Rays at -135 since you know that Yarbrough.
Did we just miss this? Did we miss this? Neither of us really talked about it. We saw Jalen Beeks, and then halfway through the show, we know Yarbrough is coming out against the Orioles. That feels good to me for -130 or whatever, 135.
Yeah,
I might legitimately hop on the Rays now that I know that.
Yeah, their offense is better too coming into this matchup.
Oh yeah, of course. I would take the Rays. Why not?
Yeah, Rays at -135. I like it. Dodgers and Phillies. You got an over/under of 8.5. You've got the Dodgers at -135. You got the Phillies at +115. I like over 8.5, and I've got this game in my notes. I didn't bet it, but why do I like it? Okay, you got versus right-handed pitching, or no, they've got 2 left-handers on the mound today. You got both offenses sitting in the top 10 versus left-handed pitching, so I like that. You've got the Phillies with a better bullpen, surprising over the last 10 days. That being said, neither one are all that great over the last 10 days. I like over 8.5 with these 2 great offenses. What do you like in Dodgers and Phillies?
I don't know. I mean, every day I don't particularly look at every single game. You know what I mean? I find things that I kind of gravitate towards, then stick to them. I don't know. Why, I guess, with the over 8.5, is that just pretty much offensively? Because I wouldn't look at those pitchers and probably think over off the bat.
Yeah, it's the struggles of the bullpen combined with the strength of the offenses versus left-handed pitching that I like.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I skipped over the game.
Bro, it's just a lean, bro. Just a lean.
Anything. Just a lean. Okay. Damn, bro. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Dodgers. Sure. Yeah.
Dodgers money line at -135. You're not going to find that price too often.
Yeah.
All right, we got Reds and Blue Jays are up next. Reds come in at +140. Blue Jays are -160 with an over/under of 6.5. I've already said that the Reds are a good money or a good underdog play. I like these Reds. They've got enough advantages. What do you like today?
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to take an underdog finally. I don't think that there's a lot of them to be had. Much under plus money anyway, or much under even money, I should say, +100. We have a few of those, but. Castillo's somebody I really like, and Reds offense ain't bad. I mean, at least what's in the batting order, right? I mean, I think it's very possible they get it done. So plus 140 doesn't feel too bad.
Like that right there. Tigers and Guardians are up next on BetUS with an over-under of 8.5. Both money lines are at minus 166, minus 110. Is anybody looking at the baseball card between Skubal and Savali and pricing both of these at minus one? Like, who's pricing this stuff? Maybe this should have been my steal and should have been my max unit whale play banker. Tigers, God, like, what are we talking about? These can't both be priced at minus 110 when we have big discrepancies in starters. Holy cow, no way. And the Tigers come in with the better bullpen. The Tigers bullpen is top 5 in the last 10 days. Tigers all day long. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. I'll 2-unit play on that one or something.
This is like that Javier. Tigers. This is like that Javier play. I talked about that under 6.5 Ks. That's now at 4.5 Ks at some sports books. Yeah, whoever priced this at minus 110 is about as dummy as that guy with that Javier prop. What are you talking about? Holy cow. All right, Mariners and Red Sox are up next. We got an over-under of 9. Mariners are at even money on BetUS with the Red Sox at minus 120. I like the Mariners F5, but we're talking, at least from this segment of the show, money line, run line, over-under. So I would just take the Mariners full game money line, I guess.
Yep, that's what I did.
All right.
I still don't believe in Walker. I don't care what he's done so far. I don't care what you say. I don't care.
Right. I got the Nationals and Brewers here up next with an over-under of 8. Nationals at plus 170. Brewers are at 200. I'm going to look up what happened in that Brewers game, because that's either a parlay piece or a run line if Williams and Hader are ready to go. What did they do yesterday, the Brewers? Did they play? I have to look this up real quick. They're either a run line if Williams and Hader are ready or a money
I have
line.
the internet, so give me a second. It was 7-6 against the Braves. Brewers win at home.
Oh, no, they were off, though, on Thursday. That must have been Wednesday. So they're off.
Oh, sorry. Wednesday. My bad, dude.
Yeah, Williams and Hader are ready to go. I'll take that Brewers run line. What about for you?
Yeah, again, like I said, it was a parlay piece for me with the Yankees. Run line if you're going to play it straight.
All right, then we got the Rangers and Astros are up next. This is that guy Javier just talked about, under 6.5 Ks. He's going up against Martin Perez there, the Rangers, with an over-under of 8.5. Rangers are at plus 150 on BetUS, with the Astros checking in at minus 170. I'm taking under 8.5, and you saw Brian in the chat. I mentioned it yesterday that the first series that these teams hooked up, under 8 had cashed in all those series. It cashed again last night. All right, I'll rock that trend. I'll take under 8.5 runs between Rangers and Astros.
Yeah, not a bad angle, really. Again, one of those games that I didn't particularly look too much into, but something kind of freaks me out about the Astros today for some reason. You get that feeling at all?
No, I just got a feeling
if you were to pay minus 170 for the Astros, would you be worried about that at all against the Rangers and Pros?
Astros seem to be pretty hot right now. I wouldn't be too nervous. They seem to be pretty hot.
I don't know. I have a weird feeling about it, so I guess we'll see. But I'm going to lay off of it.
All right, Twins and Royals are up next. We've both talked about this game. We both, I think, like the Twins money line. We both like over 8.5. I think we just go ahead and skip it. Move on.
Yeah, the over 8.5 is my favorite play there too.
Mets and Rockies come in. Mets at minus 120. Rockies are at even money, over under of 10. I'm taking the Mets at minus 120. Huge bullpen advantages. It may be sweaty when you get there because I think both starters obviously get rocked. I think then that Mets bullpen will take over. To me, at minus 120, that's an easy choice.
Yep, the thing that's worrisome to me, and I know I talk about this, and it doesn't always work out, but the line is dropping, because I swear to God I was talking to you about this. It was like minus 130 or 135 prior to this show. Yeah. So like a half hour ago.
Sounds right, yeah.
And now it's minus 120. Do you wonder why that is? Like, I always have to question, like when I'm seeing 70% of the money coming in on a team and yet the line drops, I don't get it, really. I mean, it's at the Rockies, and those totals tend to go over and whatnot. I don't know. It just is kind of like,
yeah.
freaks me out when the line drops, and I don't see why it should.
Were you just throwing out a random number, or they have 70% of the money?
No, they really do. Mets have 70% of the money, and the line's dropping. It makes no sense.
Yeah, no sense at all. Interesting. Okay.
So maybe I'll lean it over. since it's at the Rockies.
Oh, by the way, I meant to mention it when we got to Twins and Royals. I think that's a good Rifey spot. I mentioned Braves, Marlins is the best Nerfy of the day. I think Twins, Royals is the best Rifey of the day. Let's keep on moving along between the Athletics and the Angels with an over-under of 7.5 on BetUS. Athletics are dogs at plus 155. The Angels are at minus 180. Wonder what I have in my notes for this one.
I know it's not.
I lean the over.
I know it's not our board here, but I think the best angle is to that Paul Blackburn strikeout prop that I really liked.
Wonder what I had in my notes here about this game when I looked at. Obviously, I didn't talk about it. What do I have here in my notes? Yeah, I've got average bullpens. Yeah, I kind of lean over 7.5 runs. Not the greatest offenses, though, with Oakland. That's the problem. They're going to hold back and over. But if you just get a little bit of help from the Athletics, I think you sailed over 7.5 runs. And then the last game of the day, ending our night, is Padres versus Giants. Over-under of 7.5. Giants are at minus 120. Padres are at even money. Giants are mashing left-handed pitching when I looked it up. I'll take the Giants at minus 120.
Without a doubt, yeah. The lines keep changing. It's weird, too. You see Giants went 115 to 125 to 120. Now back to 120. It's just like kind of all over. But they are absolutely holding the money there. I like Jacob Junis, to be honest with you. And for the offense you're getting, again, I'm totally cool with buying an offense. You know, even if you don't have the most elite pitching in the world, I'm totally cool with just like the Marlins, like the Giants, like really the Tigers, I guess, or whatever, Mariners. I'm cool with just buying an offense against particular teams.
Love that right there. Quick programming note here before we let you guys go. If anybody's interested in the Premier League, Matt and I are about to jump on at 11:30, so in about 15 minutes. 11:30 a.m. Central Time. We're going to talk about this entire weekend's Premier League slate. It'll be live like it is every single week, so if you want to talk some soccer with us, come hang out with Matt and I. Otherwise, it was another good time here with the Squirrel and another good week overall hanging out with each and every single one of you. Go enjoy your cash these bets tonight. Have some fun. Enjoy the action. Enjoy your weekend. We look forward to getting everybody back in here on Monday. We'll talk about the slate then. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend, Squirrel. Everybody else.
You too, buddy. Good one. Bye.